Should you believe what your brain tells you when you're depressed? Stay tuned and find out. Hello, my name is Douglas Bloch. I'm an author and depression survivor. Welcome to your Depression Recovering channel, where each week we talk about practical tools and coping strategies for healing from depression and anxiety. The title of today's talk is Depression Lies About the Future. And before I explain what that means, we need to do our normal humor. So here's another joke I got from the minister Joel Osteen. It seems like these two young kids were planning on spending the weekend at their grandmother's. And they arrived, and the first night their grandmother said, "Now remember, boys, say your prayers before you go to bed." They were 6 and 8, so the 6-year-old started out and say, "Dear God, please, I want a new Xbox and a new Star Wars adventure cards and a new bicycle." The older brother said, "Shh, you don't have to talk so loud. God isn't deaf." The younger brother said, "Yes, but grandmother is." Okay, I thought that was cute. So again, the title of the talk is Depression Lies About the Future. My videographer, Jerry, said, "What do you mean by that?" It doesn't, he wanted me to explain to him, so I'll explain to him and you at the same time. It means that when you are severely depressed, or anyone is severely depressed, changes occur inside the brain's chemistry that make it incapable of holding a positive thought or holding any hope about the future getting better. Here is how I describe this condition of hopelessness from my book, Healing from Depression. Writing about my own experience, of course. People in a life or death survival condition, such as being lost in the wilderness or being held prisoner of war, will dream and plan for the future in order to make their present conditions tolerable. The critically ill heart patient expresses his faith in his upcoming surgery by making a date to play golf 6 weeks after the operation. But the depressed person sees no viable future. There is nothing to look forward to, no dreams to fulfill, only the never-ending agony of the eternal present. This was hell. I remember in the middle of this particular episode, a friend of mine, a minister named Michael, came up to me and said, "Doug, I thought about it, and I think there's a reason, a divine reason you're going through this hell." "What could that be?" I said. He says, "I think what's going on is that you were meant to go through this ordeal because one day you're going to get over it, you're going to emerge from the depression, and you're going to write a book that's going to help a lot of people." Now, he had known I was a writer. He'd read some of my earlier books. I said, no, you got it all wrong, man, because one of the reasons I got depressed is because I'm washed up as a writer. I haven't been able to think of anything for 5 years. My inspiration is gone, and there's no future for me. He said, mark my words. When you get better, when you come out of this, you are going to regain your inspiration and write a new book. Well, 6 months later, with the help of Michael and some other loving people, I did come out of the episode. And within 3 weeks, I got this impulse to write down everything I'd gone through. Well, the words just poured out. And 90 days later, I had a memoir called When Going Through Hell Don't Stop, which I self-published. And it did help a lot of people. And then it became the book Healing from Depression. So yeah, he could see what I couldn't see because the depression blinded me about the future. Well, there was a second reason that I had to go through that ordeal that Michael didn't mention. Maybe he wasn't even thinking about it. And here's the second reason. Because I've been to hell and back, now whenever I see somebody else who's hopeless, I can tell them those 4 magic words: "This too shall pass." Here's an example. Just the other day, I was coaching a young man, young adult. He was only 20 years old, and yet he said to me, my life is over. I have nothing to look forward to. I might as well end it now. I said, "Well, how can you say that? You have nothing to look forward to. Your whole life is ahead of you." He said, "Well, I feel hopeless, and I can't seem to get rid of this hopelessness. What should I do?" I said, "Well, the reason you feel hopeless, you understand, is your brain is ill. And as long as it continues to remain ill, you'll feel hopeless. So don't even try to break out of hopelessness." "What should I do?" he said. Well, here's the answer. Ask yourself a different question. Instead of saying, "Is there hope for the future?" or "Will I get better?" ask instead, "How can I survive the next 10 or 12 hours? How can I get through the rest of the day?" If you ask yourself that question, you'll stay alive one day at a time. For those of you who are watching, who may be in a state of hopelessness, please note what I have said. Your depressed brain cannot accurately forecast the future. If the brain tells you there's no hope, pay no attention. Or, as I said in The Wizard of Oz, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Your job is to stay alive, one day, 1 hour, 1 minute, 1 breath at a time. If you feel like you have the impulse to harm yourself, please put it off because it will pass. And if you can't wait, then call 1-800-274-TALK, talk, or call a friend and have them come by and stay with you. Remember, time is on your side. This state is not forever. Things do get better. I've been where you are. Trust me, I know. Things do get better. Your job is to stay alive one day at a time, because if you do, you're going to survive this ordeal. I've survived it. My group members have survived it. People who've survived it who've written memoirs. People throughout history have survived it. This is only a temporary situation. If you can just march on one step at a time and stay above water, things will change. And one day you will be able to say to me, like I said to my friend Michael, you know, Michael, you were right after all. There was hope. I'm so glad I hung in there. This has been Douglas Bloch. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know if enjoyed is the right word. I hope you took some solace from it and got some hope. If you did so, please put your comments in the comment section or email me, douglasbloch@gmail.com. If you would like to subscribe to this channel, simply click on my photo during the closing credits. You'll be taken to my subscribe page. Click on the button and you'll become a subscriber. And if you want to be a patron of this channel, simply click on the Patreon link, Patreon, that appears on your screen, and you'll be taken to my website where, for as little as $2 a month, you can become a patron. And until we meet again, I wish you the best in your mental health recovery. Thank you so much for watching.